and welcome to this episode of the How to Choose Happiness and Freedom Show. I'm your host, Lauren Foster, and I don't know where the morning went. I've just been running around and doing this and doing that, and suddenly it's 11:30, and a lot of things that I planned to do I didn't get done. But you know what? That's okay. I can get to it when I get to it. So this month we're actually going to be talking about we're going to talk about death and fear and resentment. But we don't want to put that on the show notes because that's on the title, because that's pretty negative. We could say we're talking about life and love and forgiveness, which are the flip side of death and fear and resentment. Or we could put something sunshiny like how to really thrive in troubled times. And, you know, it's all about being in the moment. If you think about it, every time that you're getting upset or angry or worried about something, sometimes, of course, you're in the midst of an argument with somebody, or there could be something happening in the present moment. But most of the time, it's because you're regretting something that happened in the past, or you're worrying about something which may happen in the future. And so you're wasting all of this beautiful creative energy that you have in this moment by regretting or worrying. So the more you can come back to the present moment, the happier you'll be. I'm reading a really awesome book now called Solve for Happy. I apologize, I can't say the guy's name off the top of my head or pronounce it, but I'll put it in the notes. But he's an engineer, analytical type, and was very, very successful and had all of the earmarks of what happiness should be. You know, a great family, a great, career, and lots of money, and all the things that we are all striving for in order to be happy. But he wasn't. And so he put his engineering mind to work and started approaching this from a scientific standpoint and wrote the book Solve for Happy. So I'm going to share more with you about that as I read it. But the first thing that stood out to me was that happiness is the absence of unhappiness. So if you watch children in third world countries, I've witnessed this myself. They don't have enough to eat. They're dirty and runny noses, and they're happy as can be. They're not, as long as they're not starving and they're not in immediate danger or pain, kids are generally happy. So what happens with us as adults that we're like, oh, I'm not going to be happy till I have this or that or the other thing. And that's what we're all working on trying to get to here in the Be Happy First movement, is that happiness is a choice. And you can choose this moment to worry about how you're going to pay your bills, or appreciating this pretty white cat that is coming over here to disrupt everything and knock my camera over. You get to choose what you're putting your focus on. And that's what we're here to teach you, is how to do that, how to overcome the negativity bias that our brains were born with, and to begin to be happy on purpose, no matter what, anyway, in every situation. All right, so this week we're going to flip things around a little bit. Usually we talk theory on Tuesdays, and we give you your activities and action steps to take on Thursday. But I want to kind of look at that a little bit differently this week, so that you go off and do your homework today and then come back on Thursday. And here comes Romeo. Come on, buddy. Come on. Big, pretty white cat. Say hello. All right, so we're gonna do the homework today and then come back with some insight and maybe discuss the homework on Thursday. So what about death is it that we need to talk about? And the way that you perceive death, what you think is going to happen to you after you die, these things are all things that shape the way you live your life. So we're going to go into some different examples of that, the heaven and hell and the reincarnation and the flatliners and all that. We're going to talk about all of those different ways of looking at death and how they can impact your life on Thursday. But for today, I want you to just ask yourself the question, do my beliefs about death serve me, or do they sabotage me? And now, believe me, just because something is a belief does not mean that it's the truth. Well, I was doing research for you for this week on death, I started looking into war because I believe that most people are killed in war due to religious differences. And you know what? That's not the truth. As I started reading the research, only 7% of the deaths in warfare throughout history have been over religion. Why did I think that? What, at some point in time, someone that I considered reputable at that moment said it, and I just believed it. You know? So, how much stuff is in your head masquerading as truth that really isn't? So, what do you believe happens to you or your dog or your mother or your loved ones, to humans, animals, plants? What do you believe happens to us after we die? And where did you get that belief? A lot of us are taught our beliefs about the afterlife in church, in religion, and and we're young, and those get planted very firmly in our brains and become one of those things that we just believe, whether we really are served by that belief or not. Now, I want to make it very clear that I do not stand behind or in front of any religion. I think they're all wonderfully intended and have wonderful things to offer, and they're your personal choice. If any member of any group or anything that you want to do is absolutely and totally wonderful with me. We strive to have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. So I'm not telling you what you should believe. I'm only asking you to analyze what you believe and decide if it is serving you or sabotaging you. All right. So what do you think happens to you after you die? Where did you get those beliefs from? And how are they affecting the way that you live your life? Do you make decisions throughout your day based upon what you think is going to happen to you, your soul, or whatever after you die? Do you have feelings about life that have to do with the length of time that we're here? So I'll share a little insight. I personally believe that I am infinite. There's no such thing as death. My brother is not in his body anymore, but he's not dead. He's probably, it's probably easier for me to connect with him now in pure spirit than it was when he was in a body. My dogs, my cats, my parents, my other brother, all of these people are eternal. No matter how they lived their lives while they were here, their souls are eternal and blessed and perfect and are right around me all the time. And when I'm not in this body anymore, then I will join with them and with all of the others who are not currently hanging out in a body. So I believe that we are all, I'm already a part of this energy, and so are you. And so is Rocky and Romeo. We're all a part of this amazing energy. So there is no separation between you and God and me. We're all part of the same stuff. So and this, to me, is a very freeing way of looking at death because, yes, my life here matters very much, and I want to make the most of it. And the reason I was researching war is like trying to get my head around why we even have wars. And they're about one group wanting to exert dominance or power, or fighting over resources or something like that. And the way that you force someone to line up with your thinking is you take away the most precious thing there is to them, which is their life. Our life is the most precious thing that we have on this earth. All right. So, what are your beliefs? Where did you get them? How do they affect how you are living your life? And is it helping you? Is it serving you, or is it sabotaging you? Is there study that you could do, or things that you could change about the way you think and you believe that would serve you better and make you able to be happier in this existence that, Israel is short based on, how long time is. Our 80, 90, 100 years that we get to spend here on earth is just a blimp, just a tiny little bleep throughout time. All right, so that's your homework for today. I'm going to be back here on Thursday to discuss some theory, and I know there will be people that will be mad at me for this stance, and there's part of me that's terrified about this, but everybody gets a right to believe the way that they want, and to have the courage to speak that, and to be able to stand together even if we don't exactly, see things exactly the same way. That's the beauty of this human existence, is that we bring so much variety and so much contrast and so much just difference that we can appreciate and learn from and grow from, and really enhance our lives. So I'm going to see you back here on Thursday. In the meantime, remember that happiness is a choice, and you can always choose to be happy first. See you Thursday.